Shall I open that door for you? The rogue Ranny inquired, after appearing from out of nowhere. He thought that it would be a simple matter to take advantage of your naivete and pocket some coin.
It's my turn.
Done.
Let's see.
Since that point, you've been under mutually beneficial terms. You handle combat, and Ranny handles locks. You came to Highland as an adventurer. Like many of your fellows, you strove to challenge the dangerous labyrinths here. The labyrinths were every bit as perilous as you'd heard. Most were lucky to even have their bones exit the ruins. You don't currently belong to the guild. I recommend registering. You can get jobs there and learn skills. Clad in full armor, the Guildmaster, Samuel Joseph, stands in the center of the guild hall like a statue. He appraises you with a look and dismissively states that only worthless adventurers leave their equipment. Your travels thus far have left your equipment positively thrashed. You resolve to rectify that before returning. The Guildmaster directs you to Morgan's Magic Item Shop. The magician is even able to repair magical equipment. To be deemed worthy by the Adventurers Guild, you must first repair your broken equipment. You conquer a labyrinthine set of stairs, and Morgan Lisley, shopkeeper and witch, welcomes you to her establishment. There is no objects repair which does not fall under her purview. From ornate magic...
Welcome to my shop. What would you like?
Adventurers come here not only for repairs, but for appraisals, and to purchase magic items. You will visit Morgan often. Your equipment is now unmarred. You should return to the guild and see if the guildmaster deems you worthy. Once again, the Guildmaster Samuel Joseph stands with your equipment now in tip-top condition. You request to join the guild. Samuel issues you a test. What will you do? Your test is to help a warrior named Roland. To prove your mettle for the Guildmaster, you head to the ancient temple ruins to assist the warrior, Roland. A magic gate was recently found in the ruins on the outskirts of town. Use that to reach your destination. Many things lie within the ruins of the old Elysian temple. Some quiescent, some far less so. An ancient dragon, spoken of in myths, is said to have destroyed the Elysian civilization in one night. You liberated a fairy that was trapped in a cage.
Here they come.
It's my turn.
Done.
Oh my.
You have made your way to Roland. At the guild's behest, he is looking for adventurers who, for you to pass your guild exam, you must help him. Roland tells you to search in the ruins that are submerged in water. Much time has passed since the missing were last seen. He tells you to bring back their bones.
They're here.
Oh, I can do that. I got it. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Voila!
The Orc army is apparently getting here via the waterway. Their cargo is various articles from ships that had been reported missing.
Let's see. Done. Outstanding. It's my turn. Voila!
They're coming.
Oh, yes. Simple. Oh, my.
You have found the bones of a missing adventurer. Sometimes, the dead have been known to leave behind a message right before they perish.
Here they come. They're here.
There seem to be more nests similar to this one spread throughout the area. You exit the area, taking care to avoid drawing the attention of any other harpies. You have fulfilled the request. Report your work to the Guildmaster. To report your quest. However, it is possible to resurrect the dead with their bones. He tells you to go to the temple to attempt the resurrection ritual. Canaan Temple is a temple dedicated to the worship of the goddess Althena. Proceed there immediately. You were ordered to attempt to resurrect guild members at Canaan Temple. As you enter, a kindly voice echoes from the back. You seem to be in need of help, a monk says, and approaches you. The prayer of the monks sometimes restores the dead to life. The goddess bestows mercy to those whose time has not.
Wandering one, how can I help you?
Allow this heart to beat again. Quench their thirst. Lead the wandering soul back. Reverse death. And awaken them. The prayer reaches the goddess, and the pile of bones is made new. The adventurer pledges that any adventurers you resurrect will wait for you at the inn. You can now fill out your party with. Please be aware that if you leave an area and one of your party has fallen, if you encounter any bones during your questing, be sure to.
Oh, yeah!
You have fulfilled the request. report your work to the Guildmaster. After delivering your report, you think you see part of a smile cross. You may now get cooperation from guild members. They may participate in your party and help you in complete. The Adventurers Guild has a backlog of quests because many adventurers are occupied with the Dragon's Crown rumors. The king and his retinue left to find the Dragon's Crown and are missing. Many guild members are now searching for them. The existence of this crown that supposedly controls dragons is disputed, but the king was obsessed with finding it. Samuel hurriedly assigns you a new task. You get the feeling that he deems you reliable and trustworthy. It's a request from this country's Prime Minister. The quest's details will be provided at the castle. You wonder about the lives of the powerful people in that grand castle.
You're back. A request.
You accepted a new request from the guild. You must go to the castle for further details. Flanked by guards, you are led through the secure castle. Princess Vivian and Prime Minister Gustav awaited you. The Prime Minister speaks a lot, in contrast to the silent princess. He asked the royal scepter has been stolen. Your job is to track down Tomit and retrieve the scepter. Also, Ranni whispers that he knows of this Tomit. He is well known. You bow and leave. In order to retrieve the royal scepter, you chase the thief into the ruins of the old capital. These are the ruins of the ancient capital city. It was destroyed following an invasion from the Northern Empire. Now it is a dangerous place, full of dragons and wyverns.
Oh, I can do that. Oh my. It's my turn. Done. Oh, I can do that.
You find the bandit Tomet in a hideout amid the ruins, just as Ranni told you. It is said that whatever this man desires, Ranni asks, "Are you Tomet, the bandit legend?" Beaming, he displays his spoils and tells the tale. When you ask about the scepter, he says, "That was indeed I," and goes on to boast. When you inquire further about the scepter, he deduces your true intentions and darts. Pursue the thief and reclaim the scepter. You cannot capture a target swimming underwater. Watch for your quarry to surface.
Let's see. I got it. Oh, yeah. Oh my.
I'll stop them. Enemies!
Filthy Luca. Oh my.
I'll stop them.
Let's see. Voila! Oh, I can do that.
They're coming.
pin down Tommet, who is so stunned that he's actually been caught that he cannot move. Relenting, he produces the scepter from his bag and hands it to you. You have reclaimed the royal scepter, stolen from the treasure room. You must deliver the royal scepter to the Prime Minister at the castle. Once again, you are led to the throne room under guard. This time, a man stands there. The man tells you to hand over the scepter. The man's mouth transforms into a twisted grin. What will you do? You fall into a fighting stance. As soon as you steel yourself for battle, the Prime Minister orders the guards near you to stand down. The man, you sigh, relieved that you didn't have to shed blood. The Prime Minister tells you that man was Count Dean. The scepter indicates the throne's heir. The Prime Minister says Dean had Tommet steal it. The Prime Minister takes the scepter and narrows his eyes in satisfaction. He pays you. The fairy you saved in the ruins appears before you. She seems to want to take you somewhere. The fairy leads you into an old ivy-covered tower. You find yourself in a cluttered room that seems to be, judging by the stratification of dust, letters amidst the shambles. Lucane wrote that he was off to see a magician friend named. The fairy uses various interpretive gestures to indicate that she wants you to find him. You head to Wallace's underground labyrinth to look for the magician Lucane.
You're back.
Welcome to my shop. What would you like? Which one do you want?
This underground labyrinth is made in a single night with powerful magic. It is a dangerous place, replete with traps. It bars entry to all who would dare.
It's my turn.
The trap was sprung, and the door magically closed fast. Slime creatures are weak against fire. The torch on the wall could be used to great effect. The clink of metal hitting the ground can be heard. You obtain a magic key to open the door. Out of the blue, a mouse darts out and leaps onto your palm. The rodent claims to be the apprentice. He says he was tasked with caring for the laboratory while Wallace was gone. When you ask about Lucane, the apprentice answers that his master's friend. Your quest to find Lucane is delayed as you attempt to liberate the lab for Ricky the Magician. The door to the laboratory is through this hall.
I got it. Voila! Oh my. Let's see. Done.
Enemies!
turn. Let's see. Done.
Because the laboratory was being misused, some of the experiments housed within have now run amok. There's been a population explosion of mutated beings that spread their spores around. The labyrinth is overrun by fungi.
It's my turn. Oh, yeah.
They're here! Enemies!
Destroy the cocoons before they hatch, or they'll keep coming. Found some bones that seem to belong to Lucane in the depths of the labyrinth. The tattered raiments and jewelry leave no doubt. You bring back the bones of the... You found Lucane, but he was dead. You imagine the fairy will be overcome with grief, but you need to return to her. When you enter the laboratory, the fairy frantically flits around you, as if it senses your uneasiness. Upon seeing Lucane's bones, the fairy enters into a panic. The fairy is apparently attempting to lead you somewhere. You collect Lucane's bones and follow her. As you enter, a you nervously hand the monk the bone. Allow this heart to beat, quench death, lead the wandering soul, reverse death, and awaken them. The prayer reaches the goddess, and the pile of bones, Lucane, to find himself alive, thanks you profusely. He tells you to visit him at his laboratory. The resurrected magician has returned to the old tower in town. You decide to see him to ask more details. The magician Lucane is waiting for you in the laboratory of the old tower. It seems that dying had an adverse effect on his short-term memory. Lucane can't remember why he went to meet Wallace. Lucane is researching magic called runes, which are closely tied to spirits and fairies. Lucane introduces his fairy friend to you. Her name is Tiki. She left the fairy forest due to her strong curiosity. He thanks you again for saving him and allowing him to enjoy life's rich pageant. He displays his magic trinkets. Lucane says he'd be happy to sell you these items at a fraction of the normal price and answer any... What will you ask? Lucane says that he would be delighted to discuss this and launches headlong into a discussion about runes are magical letters that spirits and fairies. Touching runes makes letters sparkle and float. Runes are a combination of 3 characters that create... However, runes won't work unless a spirit or fairy is present. That's what you gather from Lucane's log. Before you realize it, Tiki is following you around. She seems to have taken a liking. She will accompany you on your adventures henceforth. Fairies are known to be adept.
Oh, how can I help you? Which one?
A letter from the castle has come to you via the guild. It simply says to report...
You're back.
You assume that the letter was sent by the Prime Minister. Perhaps he has another request for you. Count Dean is waiting for you at the throne room. It is he who's... After your previous encounter, you can only assume that the guards have drawn their swords and are blocking the exit. He says that he has personally requested you. He wants you to scout Bilberon Fortress, originally built to defend against the Orc army. It now lies in Orc hands. Scout, it is a very dangerous mission, but refusal means that you will be at the mercy of Dean's guard. Per Count Dean's request, you agreed to infiltrate and surveil the subterranean fortress at the country's border. The Orc army presently controls Bilberon, the underground fortress built into the canyon. The King's army has been mounting a fierce offensive to try and reclaim the fortress.
Here they come.
It's my turn.
Done.
You step into the enemy kitchen. A corpulent chef grabs a goblin instead of meat, and the cook, sensing your presence, stares directly at you. Luckily, eventually, the chef returns to her meat cutting. You use the goblin's...
They're here.
I got it.
Voila!
Oh, I can do
Here they come.
It's my turn. Oh my. Let's see. Oh yeah. Filthy Luca. Outstanding. Oh my. Filthy Luca.
I'll stop them.
It's my turn.
At the bottom of the stairs is an area connected to the sewers. This seems your most likely escape route. After defeating the Minotaur, you move through the sewer's filth. The reconnaissance mission went well. You gathered intel and slipped back across enemy... Among the treasures you claimed is the great sword... You succeeded in acquiring intel on the underground fortress. This job will be completed once you report to Count Dean. You report everything you learned to... Naturally, he demands the great sword, but at least he's in a good mood now. He thought you'd just... It seems that he thinks much more highly of you now. Once the king went missing, the Prime Minister began recommending the Bulgar is an aggressive nation to the north. McNeil is related to the King of Hydeland and has a legal claim to the throne. Count Dean claims that McNeil has been rallying nobles in Hydeland to support. That's why Dean hired Tommet to steal the scepter. He says that Tommet is extremely trustworthy. Suddenly, the Prime Minister and the Princess appear. It seems you are being watched. The Prime Minister warns you not to involve yourself any further. The Princess... Since you completed the job at the castle, you return to the Adventurers Guild. Roland also happens to be here to report on a job. However, Roland thinks that he just missed him and asks you to track down the guildmaster. You look for Samuel, the guildmaster. He should be somewhere in town.
Which one?
What would you like? Which one do you want? What would you like?
Wandering one, how can I help you?
Allow the... Allow this... You stand before the god. Texts say the goddesses sacrificed themselves to defeat a dragon, which caused their likenesses to degrade as well. Althena, the one in the center, is the goddess of... If your party falls during your adventure, if you are repeatedly depending on her grace, the amount you must... A giant man in armor finishes his prayers. He tells you that he was praying because he has sent many friends to look for the king. When you ask to help, Samuel just nods and hands you a request form. It's the same request the temple gave you. In a remote region, marriageable girls are disappearing one by one.
May they rest in peace.
As you leave the temple, a ragged old man slumped in the road calls out to you. His raspy voice makes it difficult for you to discern if he's even speaking your... You can give him a coin if you feel pity for him. Of course, he doesn't even acknowledge the coin. You probably won't be able to communicate with him. To solve the mystery of the disappearances, you head to the catacombs, where the villagers fear to tread.
You're back. You have a request.
You seated yourselves and called.
You seated yourselves.
君は酒場のテーブルにつ
君は酒場のテーブル。
君は酒場のテーブルに。
君は酒場のテーブルに。君は酒場のテーブル。
君は酒場のテーブルにつき。
君は酒場のテーブルに。
You seated yourselves and called for a stein.
You seated yourselves and called for a stein.
You seated yourselves and called for a stein of the finest mead.
You seated yourself and called for a stein of the finest mead.
You seated yourselves and called for a stein of the finest mead.
You seated yourselves and called for a stein of the.
You seated yourself.
You seated yourselves and called for a stein of the finest mead. You seated yourselves and called for a stein of the finest mead. Your partner, Rani, is in a particularly good mood. To solve the mystery of the disappearances, you head to the catacombs where the villagers fear to tread. Many things lie within the ruins of the old Elysian temple, some quiescent, some far less so. An ancient dragon spoken of in myths is said to have destroyed the Elysian civilization in one night.
It's my turn.
Done.
Oh, yes. Simple.
The Orc army is apparently getting here via the waterway. Their cargo is various articles from ships that had been reported missing.
Oh my. I got it.
Done. Let's see. Voila!
It's my turn.
Done.
I can do that.
There seem to be more nests similar to this one spread throughout the area. You exit the area, taking care to avoid drawing the attention.
You're back.
These are the ruins of the ancient capital city. It was destroyed following an invasion from the Northern Empire. Now it is a dangerous place, full of dragons and wyverns. Here they come. They're here. This underground labyrinth is said to have been made in a single night with powerful magic. It is a dangerous place, replete with traps. It bars entry to all who would dare.
Go! It's my turn. Done! Let's see. Oh, yeah.
The trap was sprung, and the door magically closed fast. Slime creatures are weak against fire. The torch on the wall could be used to great effect. The clink of metal hitting the ground can be heard. You obtain a magic key to open the door.
Simple. Let's see. Done. Filthy Luca. I got it. Simple. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
They're here.
Let's see. Done.
Enemies!
I got it. Simple. Oh my. Filthy lucre.
Enemies!
The grubs are turning into cocoons. You must destroy the cocoons before they hatch into beetles. Left the fungi-infested underground labyrinth. In the catacombs, stark white bones are strewn about the ground as far as the eye can see. The sheer number of the deceased is the only indication left of this area's former prosperity.
What?
A strange knight out of the darkness towards you. You surmise that he is not of this world. The knight is muttering to himself as if in a daze. If I end my own life, they can no longer sack. When you move closer, the knight extends his hand. He's holding. The path ahead of you is connected to the ruins of the castle colloquially called the Castle of the Dead. In olden times, whenever a girl disappeared, the locals would say she'd been called to the Castle of the Dead. Because ghosts are incorporeal, they are completely immune to physical attacks. Their weakness is light. Torchlight will drive them off.
Oh, I can do that. Outstanding. I got it. Voila! It's my turn.
Can somebody help me?
You saved a village girl. You must protect her now.
Let's see. Voila!
You saved a village girl. You must protect her now.
It's my turn.
Voila! Ambush!
Oh my.
They're here.
I got it. Done. Simply broken. Oh, I can do that. Oh, yes. Voila!
The vampire smirks and flies away. You saved a village girl. You must protect her now.
Thank you!
Protect the village girl. If she is bitten by the others, she will become a vampire as well. The kidnapped girls had been turned. They are now vampires, attacking other people. You utter a silent prayer, hoping that you have slain the last vampire and leave the ruins. In your hands is the bloody scroll that the... You have unraveled the mystery of the village girls' disappearances. Obtain your reward at the guild. You are curious about the bloody scroll. You show Samuel that after examining the scroll, the signature and other details indicate it is a report telling her that he had obtained the dragon's crown. You can't deny that the ghost was clad in mail that was eerily similar to the king's armor, So perhaps the king's death will profoundly affect the kingdom and neighboring lands. Samuel orders you to report it to the castle.
You're back. You have a request. Stop!
Immediately you are overwhelmed by guards and thrown into the castle jail. This is a common fate for people who hold a royal secret. You are being removed from the drama at the castle. After a few days, the cell door opens. Once your eyes grow reacclimated to light, you see Count Dean stand. He unshackles your ankles and explains the situation to you. The Prime Minister had been jailing all of Dean. As expected, Gustav was working for Bolga. He used a magical necklace to control the princess and influence Heidland. Once Dean got Princess Vivian to safety and confronted the Prime Minister, Gustav fled with a ship full of treasure. The princess apologizes for involving you in this. While she was a hostage, Dean couldn't confront the Prime Minister. This kingdom needs a new ruler immediately. Dean is no saint, but he would make a good... However, when Gustav fled, he also stole the royal orb, another treasure that represents the right to rule. If MacNeil gets the orb, it will likely result in civil war. However, Princess Vivian asks for your help with this incident. You immediately agree and begin searching for the orb. Gustav's ship chose a pirate route, likely to elude captors. Perhaps his artifice was as undoing. To get the orb back, you travel to Ghost Ship Cove, a known pirate hideout.